A quick update on this Saturday evening, August 9th. We're watching the potential for some severe thunderstorms across the Central Plains, also across the Great Lakes. These storms have been pretty big today. We'll continue to see that threat through the overnight across Missouri, Iowa, into Kansas and Colorado. Tomorrow, things a little bit quieter. We're not looking at as much widespread severe weather, but we'll do it again across the Central Plains. But for today and to the evening hours and overnight, a few tornadoes can't be completely ruled out. We're also going to look at some of the new data coming in on what could be happening in the Atlantic. An update from earlier today. And if you missed that video, I'll put a link to the description down below where we also talked about some of that Arctic sea ice and how that's going to impact what I think it's going to be a cold winter. I think we're going to get some shots of chilly air, but yeah. We'll talk about that later. Let's get to what we're looking at right now. This is a severe weather update. We've got these storms rolling through Wisconsin tonight. Some of these could be on the strong side, damaging winds, some really large hail possible too. The time above me is Eastern time, so once we get toward that 9 o'clock hour, we start to push the storms out across Lake Michigan, into northern parts of Illinois, also here into the southeast corner of Iowa. Now, this area is going to have enough wind shear. I think you got to be careful and you got to watch these storms that rotate, maybe a few tornadoes, some damaging winds, as I said, and some hail possible. And this cluster could get going again late tonight. So once we approach the midnight hour, the 3K NAM is really trying to explode this cluster and keep it going through the overnight between 2, 3, 4 a.m. So maybe some gusty winds and some hail continuing with that severe risk late tonight into northern Missouri, into parts of Illinois again, and then things settle down as we head into early Sunday morning, a little bit further to the west. Let's move into Iowa tonight. I want to show you how the 3K NAM is handling these storms once we get towards the 10 p.m. Central Time. Really starting to explode this cluster up here across southern parts of the state. You know, this is an interesting look, too, here across northern Missouri. This could be a pretty decent line of thunderstorms that develop late tonight into the early morning hours. So rumbles of thunder. It could be a busy night tonight, and then we settle down heading into early Sunday morning. Further off to the south, these storms will also impact parts of eastern Kansas, I should say, northern Missouri, and then maybe another line of storms late tonight moving across Kansas into the early morning hours. So if the 3K NAM holds true, we could be watching another cluster of storms pushing off to the south and east through Sunday morning. Either way, it looks like some wet weather with some showers, and then the air mass recovers, and we do it again heading into tomorrow with those storms a little bit further to the south and east, which I'll show you on this shot, a little bit wider look over into parts of Oklahoma. Here's a bit of a wider look, too, further to the west. Some strong storms possible as far west as Colorado this evening. We talked about Kansas, really along this boundary. That will start to drop to the south tomorrow. Some of these storms could also drop some heavy rain. Notice how they're trying to train a little bit here across Kansas into Missouri. So, I got to wonder, be careful tonight. Watch out for that heavy rain that could cause some flooding. Heading into Sunday, now we're moving our boundary further to the south, so into North Texas, Oklahoma. Some of these could get on the strong to severe side as well, and that could linger into early Monday morning. Another area to watch, too, you don't look too much into Arizona, but some of these storms through the evening hours could be severe. The Storm Prediction Center watching this area here across southern parts of Arizona, right along the Mexican border. That will die down late tonight once the heating goes away. And I also want to take you into Florida. Look at this swirling mass here of thunderstorms. All right, this is the area of low pressure that is going to be moving off the coast. The potential is there for something to develop into a tropical depression. Very low chances, but you can see the swirl. Not a lot of organized thunderstorms around the center of circulation, but I think we do get some heavy rain here across parts of Florida, along the Gulf Coast, into parts of southern Georgia, Alabama, especially as this swath of precipitation moves up to the north as we head into Monday, also into Tuesday, and a bit of a wider look here into the southeast too. You're going to keep that broad easterly flow, so the showers are actually going to increase as we head into Monday across the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee. We stay cloudy. It's not going to be a complete washout, but you get an idea of where the showers are going to be. And then further to the north and east, it's quiet here still. We could use some rain in Maine, where we've not seen a lot. A little bit dry for many of you across parts of the Northeast. And finally, as promised, an update on what's going on in the tropics, some of the newest model data. I'm going to show you the European and the GFS. This is the newest from the National Hurricane Center, the 2 p.m. update. They're now saying about a 50% chance of cyclone development as this disturbance moves into this region here just to the west of the Cape Verde Islands. This is going to be moving to the west. The question is, where will it go once it gets to about this point, about 60 degrees west? Is it going to end up curving north? Is it going to continue a bit of a west trajectory and then turn to the north? I want to show you some of the newest guidance. This is the European. So we're talking about now by Friday. So 5-6 days from now, we'll be really getting a forecast on where this thing goes. The European from this afternoon by next weekend, so now we are talking about day 8, curves this thing north, right? Before it even gets to Bermuda. The GFS still says it wants to come a little bit further to the west, but notice the trend here on both of these operational models. It is to curve it a little bit further to the north, a little bit earlier. That would be good news for the East Coast. I'm not going to let my guard down just yet because the ensemble guidance, still several members bring this right to the coast. It's just too early. We're talking about, a week from now. However, again, the European wants to move, or I should say the GFS wants to move this a little bit slower too. It holds it back. So something to keep an eye on for sure. And then if you go back to the European, this wave hasn't even formed yet. It's still trying to do something sneaky here into the Caribbean. I think you got to watch the tropics all the way to the end of the month. We're approaching that peak season of hurricane season, which is right around September 10th. Once we get to that plateau or that point, we do start to see a downhill trend. And we are talking about what's going on in the Arctic in these videos. Not in this particular one, but check this one out. If you've not seen it, we talk about the sea ice that we're seeing. And believe it or not, there's more ice covering the ocean, the Arctic Ocean, a little bit further south than last year. And what does that mean for the winter? I'll see you in this video and I'll tell you more.